Hi, I'm Bo Bourgeois, and this is my SATC 200 fall protection safety presentation. There are three main types of fall protection. There's fall arrest, which is required whenever a worker is exposed to a fall hazard. OSHA generally defines a fall hazard as a drop of 6 feet or more from a walking or working surface onto a lower level or grade. Some exemptions from this including but not limited to ladders, scaffolding, and steelwork. The second main type of fall protection is positioning. Positioning allows a worker to sit back in their harness while performing work with both hands. This type of protection is not designed to be used to arrest a fall, but it must be in conjunction with the fall arrest system. The third main type of fall protection is retrieval, which is used in all confined space situations. Retrieval is also known as a rescue plan. Retrieval is a crucial step in the development of the fall protection plan. This system covers the post-fall scenario of retrieving a worker who has fallen. OSHA does not give any instructions regarding to how to accomplish this, but it does say there must be a plan in place. Fall arrest system equipment. The full body harness is the main piece of the fall arrest equipment. Actually, the main piece in all fall protection equipment, but it really is listed under fall arrest. The full body harness includes shoulder straps and leg straps, a sub-pelvic assembly, adjustable buckles and fasteners, and one or more D-ring to connect to a lanyard. A D-ring is typically located between the shoulder blades, but they can also be located in the front and sides of the harness for other safety systems. As you can see, there's a picture of the front and the back. You can see the buckle across where the chest would be. You can see where the buckle across the chest would be here, as well as your leg straps and your waistband. And on the back here, you can see the rings up on the side and back between the shoulder blades on top. Fall arrest continued. This is the two different types of lifelines that they use. This is actually one type of lanyard that is used for for the fall arrest system, but they're both typically the same. This is called the Y lanyard. It's for it's to be able to move across a small space and still be tied off 100% of the time. A lanyard is a flexible rope or wire rope or strap which generally has a connector at each end for connecting the body belt or body harness to a device, lifeline, or anchoring point. Some manufacturers offer adjustable length lanyards, but usually they're about the same. There are also different types of lanyards that are like breakaway lanyards and other things like that. Effective lanyards are maintained in a clean contact condition and inspected prior to each use for wear and tear. The second type of lifeline is the retractable. A self-retracting lanyard or lifeline contains a drum wound line which can be slowly extracted or retracted. The lanyard extends as necessary to allow the worker to move about the work area, but retracts as necessary to maintain slight tension, preventing the line from becoming slack. The drum is under slight tension during normal work or movement and automatically locks when the when the line is extracted too rapidly. So this one here, you can see in the next slide that what their different situations that they're used for. You see here the shock absorbing lanyard. This is for situations where maybe you're high up and you can see the difference in length. You see the shock absorbing lanyard actually gives when you fall, when the retractable lifeline actually locks you in place. So that's it all differs. The lanyard is mostly used when you are high, at least as you can see here, 18.5 feet off the ground, and the retractable lifeline is used when you are a lot closer, maybe 14.5 feet off the ground. Positioning equipment. The first piece of positioning equipment is a lineman's belt. A lineman's belt is made to be wrapped around a telephone post, for example, like in the picture, or a beam or a metal post or anything that can wrap around to help the worker be more comfortable to sit back and be able to work with both hands while still being in the air safely. And as mentioned before, as you can see here a little bit in the picture, a lineman's belt or the positioning equipment is not used as a fall or rest. This is only used to hold steady, so you have to use a lanyard or fall or rest equipment when also using this lineman's belt. The second piece of equipment is called a chain. As you can see here, the chain just has hooks. The chain hooks to the D-ring on the back, and these two are used when a lineman's belt cannot be wrapped around anything. They hook on any anchors or anything that can hold you in the same position as the lineman's belt to comfortably work with both hands while sitting back. Retrieval and confined space. Our first piece of equipment is used when going down into a hole, a confined space hole. That is a tripod. This tripod is used when a worker is down in a confined space and is used in case of emergency to pull out. These tripods actually have where this next piece of equipment, the winch, can hook on to the side, or it can hang from the top to get you better leverage to pull out the worker in trouble. The second piece of equipment is the winch. A winch is attached to the tripod and used to easily lift the person out of a confined space in case of an emergency. They have a bracket that is made to hook the winch onto the arm, like I said before, or this D-ring is hooked onto an additional D-ring on the top that can give you leverage to winch somebody out. Retrieval continued. Our third piece of equipment in the retrieval confined space topic is the hoist. The hoist is used when a tripod cannot be used in event of an emergency. For example, if a confined space entry is too large for the tripod to span over, then the hoist would be put in place to take the place of the tripod. Also, our fourth piece of equipment in retrieval is the controlled descent. This controlled descent is used when a worker is lowering down into a hole, like a kind of free falling. If a ladder is not able to be used, then the controlled descent is placed on a rope and tied to the top of the hole. The controlled descent is used as a brake to slow down the worker while free falling into a confined space. This is a last resort. I wouldn't recommend using it, but if that's the only option you have left, then it is safe to use. As you can see, the rope is strung through here, and with this handle, it acts like a brake. When you're falling, if you want to slow down, you squeeze the handle, and it slows you down, controlling your fall. This is a video. In PowerPoint, the movie maker didn't allow me the video to play, so I'm just going to hit some key points that were stated in the video. When inspecting your equipment, you must do a thorough inspection before every use. I'm gonna take it, a few pieces of equipment at a time. Your body harnesses. When inspecting your body harnesses, you must make sure that all the D-rings can latch close. You must make sure there are no pop stitching. The OSHA rule is, or the manufacturing rule for harnesses are one pop stitch. Or, for example, if anytime you look at where the stitching on the harness is placed, if there's one pop stitch, you must take it out of service. Also, rips, tears, discoloration. You know, if it was out in the weather, and discoloration can cause, you know, the fabric on the harness to rot and break away. Same thing goes for your lanyard. The lanyards are made to give away, so if you're looking at inspecting a lanyard and you realize that there's a small tear in it, take it out of service because it's no longer usable. For your retractable lifelines, the way you inspect those are you make sure they lock. That you make sure they do what they're made to do. You pull out the lifeline at a fast rate, and you make sure that it locks and is able to hold weight. The other equipment is typical of just, you know, your winches. Just make sure that the cable is all good. The winches the winches actually work. Just make sure everything is in working order. Also, cleaning your equipment. It doesn't go so much for the iron, like the metal equipment, like the tripods and the winches and stuff, but this goes more for body harnesses and lanyards. You use a light soap, no Clorox, no bleach, just a light soap and water to clean your equipment and hang to dry. That's the most important part. You hang to dry so that way the water doesn't sit on there and produce a mold. Storing the equipment. After the equipment is regularly washed and hung up to dry, you can keep them hanging up. It is best to keep them in a safe area, hung up maybe in a locker or in the safety office. If it's your personal fall equipment, maybe hung up in the back of your truck, or if you have a place at home to hang them, but you don't want them to get smashed or cut, damaged. You know, don't want anything to happen like that. Also, you want to keep them in a locker or a building or something like mentioned before, because you want to keep them out of the elements. The sun, the rain, freezing cold, you know, weather can damage these things tremendously. Also, you know, you want to, I can't stress this enough, be sure to inspect all equipment before use. I mean, it saves lives, and it could save yours. So this is the end of the beginner's safety equipment presentation. Thank you for watching.